So, what is so great about Laguna Niguel and why do people want to live here? Do you want to know why I chose to live here? Stay tuned. I'm going to tell you. So, why do so many people, including myself, really love Laguna Niguel? I'm going to tell you the reasons I live here, and hopefully it'll resonate with you. Before I do, I'm going to tell you two quick, real stories, true stories. About 40 years ago, my wife and I were living in our first home, and I left the house to go buy a tube of toothpaste, and I came home with a color TV. I am easily distracted. About a year or so later, my wife and I left the house together to go buy for another room, another color TV, and we ended up buying a house, and I'm going to tell you how that happened. We got in the car, we went to go buy a color TV, and we ended up driving south to Orange County saying, let's just go check it out. And we got off the freeway on Crown Valley Parkway. We drove towards the coast, and we ended up going to housing development after housing development. It was at the time when the boom was going on, and there were a lot of new home construction tracks happening. We went to one after another, and at that time, people were camping in motorhomes and getting in lotteries and all sorts of jumping through hoops to buy a home. And my wife and I went to housing track after housing track, and we really enjoyed and fell in love with one. We went through the model home. It fit our needs. The price was okay. Again, at the time, it was pandemonium to buy a home. And we asked the salesperson, well, when do these go on sale? And she said, the sales girl in the office said, they actually start going on sale today as far as signing up and being here and present. We sent the postcards out a couple of days ago, and that guy over there is the first guy that showed up. And my wife and I looked at one another and we figured, well, we're number 2 on the list. So what ended up happening is my wife drove home. We ended up hiring a temp to take roll to be there for roll call, because they took roll call every 2 hours except from midnight to 6. So I hired a guy for 4 days around the clock to say, hi, I'm Randy Ora, and not lose our place in line. And then on the 4th day, when they actually went on sale, we went into the sales office together, my wife and I, and we actually contracted the new home purchase, which was our first home in Laguna Niguel. Why were we so drawn, and why do we continue to love Laguna Niguel? Number one is probably the proximity to the coast without being on the coast. You know, there's all different people in this world. There's chocolate, there's vanilla, and there's strawberry ice cream. So what I'm going to share with you is truthful and honest. It's very raw. It's personal to me. If it offends a few people, I'm sorry, but I want to tell you the truth. I really don't like the cities that are on the coast. I sell in them for people who want to live there. I think it's great, but every city has a little different vibe. On the coast, you have San Clemente, you have Dana Point, you have South Laguna, Laguna Beach, and moving north and south, you have different cities moving up and down the coast. I really don't like the actual cities that are on the water. They just have a little different vibe. And if that's what you enjoy, hey, great. I'd love to help you with your home purchase. But for those of you who don't like chocolate and like vanilla, like me, then being inland, just one city makes a difference. We're close enough to the water where we enjoy all the benefits of being near the water without being on the water. As an example, there's a noodle restaurant in Laguna Beach, and my wife and I used to go there and really like the food. But we looked at one another and we just decided, you know what, we don't like the feeling of sand underneath our shoes. It's just not for us. Certain things are turn-ons, certain things are turn-offs. And that's just for us what we enjoy. We like being near the water, but we don't like being on the water. So we're ocean close. We enjoy all the benefits of coastal communities without being a typical beach town. And if beach town is your vibe, I support that. I respect it. It's just not for me. So that's one reason that we really like Laguna Niguel. Reason number 2 is the safety. Laguna Niguel is considered one of the safest cities in California. And my wife and I have the feeling, with raising our family from the ages of 2 and 6, which is how old they were when we first moved here, we felt very safe here, and we still to this day feel very, very safe. I know the world is a strange place. There's unfortunately violence almost everywhere, but relatively, we have a very safe environment. My wife feels very safe driving around the communities. I've always felt safe being out at night. We never have the feeling of being unsafe in the city. So safety was really important. Having a young family, two young kids, 6 and 2 at the time, growing up, that was a real big reason for us. Along with that, number three would be the school systems. We have an excellent school system. The Capistrano Unified School District is excellent. Today, we have a lot of private schools, and about 25, 26% of the kids in Laguna Niguel go to private schools. When we first moved here, private schools were not as abundant and not as prevalent and not as trendy as they are today. So my kids both went to public schools. They both turned out perfectly fine. They were both university bound. They both graduated universities, and they still live locally, and the grandkids are local. So it's an area where people grow up, go to school, and oftentimes stay very close to home. So schools were important for us. My wife was an elementary school teacher when we first got married. She taught grades 3 and 4, and school was very important. My wife helped in the schools when she stopped teaching professionally. When she was a mom, she wanted to volunteer, and she volunteered in the schools. The schools are, for the most part, very open to parental volunteers, and we were very involved with our kids' education. And again, they went through schools, public schools here in Laguna Niguel, graduated, and went on to universities and colleges, and very happy with the education process here. Reason number four is the outdoor feeling, the outdoor environment. We have tons of parks. We have lots of bike trails. It's a very outdoor community, from tennis to pickleball, hiking. We're close enough to the water where if you like water sports, if you like surfing, my son had a surfboard and was at the beach 2 to 3 times a week, then shifted gears and went into play tennis and was a very accomplished tennis player. Now he's a pickleball guy. But we have a very outdoor oriented community. We have the weather for it, which is possibly number 5. We've got great weather. And along with that goes the outdoor activities that we are so fortunate to enjoy, from the hiking trails to the biking to the ocean community events that go on. The events that are at the harbor, the Dana Point Harbor, which is in the middle of a major renovation. So it's going to be extra nice when it's finished. It's going to be a long project, but the outdoor concerts and all the beach activities and all that goes on in Dana Point is a big attraction and a big influence on just the feeling of being an outdoor community. So those are the top reasons why I love living in Laguna Niguel. So happy with our choice that we went to buy a TV and we ended up buying a house. And I hope this is good information for you. Please please subscribe to our channel. It helps the channel. It helps others enjoy the same information that you've enjoyed. So like, comment, subscribe, ring that little notification bell so you're notified whenever I post new content. Randy Orr with Berkshire Hathaway, changing lives one home at a time.